I'm a self-taught developer, and these are the things I have done to get to this position. So getting inspired from these might help you in the process as well. So let's check them out. Tip number 1. Learn initially from the books. If you're following YouTube videos, that's great. But the problem with that is there is a good chance that you miss the fundamentals. But when you're learning from a book, you know that most of the software developers have learned from that specific book if the book is from a non-author. So this way you know that you're walking in the correct path and your roots going to be very strong. Walking in the correct path in the initial stages of your software development career is pretty important. Another thing is you will build that passion and the habit of reading tech books when you're learning from the tech books initial. In my career, I have learned my initial steps from ebooks called PHP and MySQL and a lot of things from Headfirst PHP. I know a lot of people who have learned from Headfirst books, including my two brothers and a lot of other software developers. They read Headfirst Java. Practice what you have learned. So learning from books is pretty awesome, but you need to practice what you have learned as well. In most of the books, you get some practice sessions as well, but it's pretty important to come up with your own idea and build your own product. This way, you will be enjoying what you're learning, and at the end of what you have learned, you have a product to show to anyone who you are going to get recruited with. Tip number 3. Learn the best practices. When you're learning alone, it's pretty easy for you to walk in the wrong paths, especially if you're learning things like PHP and JavaScript, because there are a lot of ways to do the same thing, and there are a lot of people who are creating content on YouTube and all the other places, and if you follow the wrong people, you'll be learning wrong things. And in most cases, in most frameworks with JavaScript and PHP, they do not restrict you from doing wrong things as well or following anti-patterns. So the best way to avoid these anti-patterns is to learn about best practices and keep yourself up to date with the latest technologies and trends. Tip number 4. Learning the core principles of software development. If your roots are strong, you're strong too. Learning the principles of software development will make your roots strong, so you can learn any software development language later. Tools will come and go, but you should be able to move on to the next big thing when the time demands. To do that, you need to be very good at software development principles. You need to understand what is software development. Tip number 5. Learning the common tools like Git and Terminal. When you're in the production level, you need to be very fluent with these common software development tools like Git and Terminal. These tools like Git and command line will automatically level up you as a software developer. Git will become an essential part in your day-to-day life, so you need to have a feel for it. A good way to learn these things is start using them. So when you are doing your side projects or learning projects, push them to GitHub or GitLab or whatever the Git repository that you are getting. And if you are still using Windows, make sure to uninstall that and install Linux or buy a Mac, and that would be a good investment as well. So those are 5 key facts you need to follow if you're a self-taught software developer. Let's see you in the next one. Cheers.